Hi, this is Kez. I'm back with another wig video for you. Today I'm just going to be showing you a bit more of the collection of wigs that I've got. Some of these I'm not sure if I've shown before, so I do apologise if you have seen them in one of the earlier videos, but I've got that many that I am starting to lose track a little bit now. I think these ones haven't been seen, but we'll see. The first one is this one, which featured in the last video that I did, showing you how to make a hard front wig look more like a lace front. I'm just going to show you the wig itself now though. It's a brown one, it is synthetic, is hard front, but if you'll have seen the other video, and if not, go watch it, I have adjusted it to make the front look more like a normal lace front wig. This is a really beautiful wig, and that hairline does not scream wig. I really love it. It's the colour just really suits on this one. I look at it and I think this is the perfect shade of hair for me. So that's that one. The second one I wanted to show you was this one. I got this off a seller a while ago, but when I looked at the wig, I realised that there was quite a few problems with it. Originally, I just thought it needed the lace trimming a little bit, but when I looked at it, I realised that they'd cut all the wefts underneath it, and so there was massive chunks of missing hair. So what I had to do was sort that out. So what I did was I took the bits that were really cut badly, and I repaired them, and then I took some wefts from underneath, because you don't really need your hair that thick at the back anyway, and I removed the wefts that were underneath and I re-sewn them into the top to hide the bits that had gone all patchy. So now you have a wig that isn't full of patchy wefts. I don't know why they decided to butcher such a beautiful wig in the first place, because it's stunning as it is, but for some reason they seem to want to make it a little bit thinner, which is great. But guys, if you want to thin your wigs out, all you need to do is you need to just use a pair of thinning shears and just thin it out. Or if you're going to remove wefts, at least remove the whole weft. But now it should look good. It was a lot of work for me yesterday though, taking wefts out the back and sewing them in further up. You can't see that it's thinner at the back because the wefts I used were quite high up in the middle, so all it's done is remove a little bit of the bulk. But where the previous owner had cut them, it had also left holes in it, so I've had to repair all the holes in the wig as well. You can see why I didn't want to lose the wig though, because it really is beautiful. It's like a really nice beachy blonde. It's got the dark brown fade into it. I have just trimmed the ends because the ends here were very matted and nasty and it didn't look right. So I've just took those up a little bit higher. Not lost a lot of length. I've maybe took off an inch if that. But it just means that it sits better now and it doesn't look like it's raggedy. But yeah, you can't tell now where those wefts were removed, where the big chunks were. If it had gone to someone who didn't know how to repair wigs, it probably would have ended up in the bin. And it's such a shame because it's a really nice wig. This one is incredibly cheap and thin. And I think this one is about ready for the scrap heap now. I kept it because I love the colour. It's like a very ashy pink. But as much as I do love it, it's just the scalp is terrible and it's really see-through. Like when you move it around, you can see the wig underneath it. So I am going to have to get rid of that one. I'm looking for a replacement for that. And when I find one, that one will have to go. I think it will probably just go in the bin though. This is the next wig that I've got. Now this is supposed to be a lace front, but again, it's just along the parting. And the part is plastic, which makes it really hard to remove. So I can't really remove the part on this one. But what I did do was I widened it slightly and put a more natural skin colour on it, just to give it a better look. Now, I really like this wig, but I'm not sure it looks good with this bit here. I think that blonde almost coming out the root is a bit much. I'm just going to take some of this Batiste. Now, this is a dry shampoo, but this has got colour in it, so this one is brown. I'm just going to put my finger there and just try and dye that bit there. But once I clean it up, it should look better. There we go. So you can see that bit there has just blended it in a little bit. so that it doesn't look quite as harsh on the top. A little bit of dry shampoo, but it's just blended that root so it's not got that harsh line, because even if you dyed your hair, your natural root would not be this ginger. You'd still have bits of brown, so it's just blended it a lot better and made it look a bit more natural. This is one of my favorite ones. This is actually a lace front. This is a yaki hair bob, long bob. Now, yaki hair means that it's got like a crimped texture to it. I don't know if you can see that on the camera. There's a slight crimping. This one, I've put a little bit of scar tape on the inside along the part. Reason being that it was quite dark, and because I'm so pale, it didn't look natural. But because I've just put that there, it's given the scalp a skin tone, the same as mine. So it looks more natural. And that's another trick you can do, but that only really works on lace parts, because if you try and put that scar tape on a plastic part, it's just not going to show through. So you need that lace for it to show. This one's actually got quite a good deep part to it anyway, so I've not altered this one in any way. This one is one of my Virboni wigs. You can get Virboni on Amazon. It is lace front. It starts with lighter roots and then fades into a bleach blonde. A little bit like the other one I've shown you, but this isn't a balayage. This is more of a straight down blonde. Then this came, it was really wavy, but I did run the straighteners through it a little bit because it is heat resistant, just so that it's got more of a beachy wave as opposed to the full-on wave that it had, just because I prefer it. When it was really curly, it didn't look as good, and I have shortened it. It was a lot longer, but I've just shortened it down to here because I think the styling suits me a lot better that way. And part of the fun of wig wearing is that you can change up, so you can have a look that isn't usually like you, but in this case I didn't want it to look too much not like me. This is one that was from AliExpress, which is an online website that's linked to a lot of Chinese sites. They do have a lot of nice cheap quality wigs. This is lace front and it's ear to ear lace, so it's decent quality. The lace is only at the part though, it's got a normal cap in. It's a mixture, as you can tell, of pink and white, or well, like a white blonde. I like it because it reminds me of candy canes, and I've used it in quite a few Halloween looks for that reason, or Christmas looks as well. But I like the curls on this one. I could straighten it, but I actually really like the waviness to it. It's not natural by any stretch, but then it's not supposed to be, and sometimes I like to have fun wigs. I do like the fact that the roots are one colour, then it fades into another colour and then goes back into the other colour. There's not many wigs you see like that. This is one of my favourite auburn wigs. I got this from Amazon. The brand is Shantice. I still see wigs of Shantice ones on there. I wanted to try something a bit more glam, and I liked the colour of this one. It's really long though, so it probably needs a bit of a trim in all honesty, but it is got a proper full lace front and it goes all the way back on the cap. The colour is beautiful, but it is very long on me. It literally comes all the way down to here. So I'm thinking I might trim it a little bit. Not a lot, just take some of the ends off because I've not done anything with it since I've had it. But it's really pretty glam wig. The part could probably do with plucking a little bit just to make it look a bit more natural. But other than that, it's probably one, I know I say this a lot, but this is one of my favourite wigs. It does need a good condition because I've wore it several times and it's due a wash. It's really, really pretty. It always looks nice on. The part can be moved slightly on this one. It doesn't have to stay in a middle part. You can sort of play around with it a little bit because it's more of a free part. So you can work it into a side part if you prefer with this one, which is nice. I've used it for Kim Possible because her hair is long and ginger. The only fault I have with it is it can get a bit tangly, but that's just because of the pure volume of hair, because there's a lot of hair on this wig. It could probably do with thinning out at some point. But it was one of the first ones I got, and I didn't want to mess with it too much and ruin it because it's beautiful. This is another long wavy auburn hair that I've got. It is a lace front. I don't know where I got it from, if I'm honest. I'm guessing I probably bought it off someone. It's literally just the parting that's lace. but like some of them, it actually goes quite deep in the part, so it doesn't look too artificial. Why people cut the brands out of wigs, it doesn't make any sense to me, unless you want to try and sell it on as a more expensive wig. Because surely it's easier for people to identify if you leave the tag in. But that's just me. So it has got quite a nice deep part. The part isn't the most realistic on the planet because it's only this bit here that's lace. But it's a nice wig and I really like it. I love how it starts off in the dark roots and then fades. It's a little bit shiny at the root, so I would probably spritz it a little bit with dry shampoo. If you are looking for a decent dry wig shampoo, I would suggest the Got2b one. It smells really nice and it doesn't give you that white residue. It does actually say on the container at the bottom, no white residue. This looks like another artificial scalp one. It also looks like I've cut it. Looking at it and looking at the bag, I'd say this is Hair Cube, just so that you know the make. This is kind of like a fawn coloured wig, so it's mainly blonde there, and it does have sort of the slightly darker bit to the fringe. It looks like I've already cut the fringe because it's shorter, which is fine because that's what I do with my wigs. This needs a little bit of work on the scalp, but other than that, yeah, it's really nice. So that's all for the wigs today. I usually give you a rundown of my makeup before I start, but I forgot, so I'm just going to give it you now. My eyeshadow is one of the Beauty Bay palettes, and I've put it over the Makeup Revolution eye bases in the same colour, just to make the colours pop. This is from the Alice one. My lips are Maybelline as usual, one of the pink shades, can't remember the name of it. And I've got my foundation on from Primark, which is a glowy one. And then I've just popped a little bit of highlighter over the top, but it's like highlighter pearl, so you can put it all over the face just to give it a little bit of a glow. Hope you've enjoyed the video. Like, comment, let me know what you think. Any tips and tricks you'd like to know about wigs, let me know and I'll see if I can do a video for you. And I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.